Today I will going to show you the Workflow app, what you can do with the Workflow. The best thing it's actually Workflow released a few months ago that you can link your workflow with the IFTTT app. And what I created and this workflow I will show you where I actually use to log my time using Workflow, and then all my time goes to the Google Sheet. And at the end of the month, I have all the time in a form of Excel sheet, and I'm able to present it to my line manager and whoever needs my time for the month. And this is a very nice tool, and let's start it now. So let's go to the workflow. So I'll create a new workflow for you because I have created this one which I will just show you. So what I did is I actually went to the actions, and you type in date, and you will get the date action, and you just can drag it, the date, and date will be here. So I put the date, and then I put the action ask for input for time in and ask for input for time out. And then I used trigger IFTTT applet, where I linked my trigger name, and then I have to go to the IFTTT to enable this also. And then I added actually the columns like start time, stop time, ask when run, this I will show you later, and then current date. So when I create a workflow, this will log my start time, my stop time, and ask when run will actually ask me if I want to add some remarks or something like normally I do. I name the project or activity what I'm doing at the moment, and then it logs in with the current date, and then we are ready to go. So let's start with the beginning. Create workflow. I'll go just for the normal one. Then click on your left bottom actions, and I'm going to put the date, drag it, we'll come to the workflow, and next action would be ask for input, drag it after the date, and this input whenever it comes it will show me time in. So here I would say, yeah, I would say not just text. And then, okay, I have to add another action for same action like ask for input, and this one is for timeout. Okay, so and then I'm going to add IFTT trigger. Here I'll just put this IFTT after here. In IFTT trigger I have to add the trigger name, so I would say my time log. So you see it says no recipe linked yet, so this I have to do it later on in the IFTT app. So I have to create a recipe for that, and then it can detect this. So we will finish this one first, and then we will go to the IFTT. So now I have to add the columns. The first column I would like to be as a time in, or it could be a date. Maybe I would say date. The first should be the date, and the second should be the time in. I see here ask for input, so but I have two ask for input, so I have to be sure which one I'm going to use. So what I can do is I can use the magic variable for this. You see this second number after variables, there's a kind of like a star or magic thing. Just click that one. It will take you to the ask for input. So I will go for this one, ask for input, the first one, which is time in. Okay, so now I add another one. Now I need the other ask for input. Click the magic thing again and choose the timeout ask for input. I can also name them to be more clarified. So here, if I click this ask for input, I will see this rename option. I click rename. Instead of saying this ask for input, I will say time in. Okay, and the next one I'll do the same, rename, and I would say time out. Okay, and the last one I will add ask when run, so that I can add which projects or which activity I'm doing during the time I'm logging in. So this will help me to find out what I was doing on that day. Okay, so now we are done with the workflow stuff, and now we have to go to the IFTTT app to get this workflow trigger and log it into the Google Sheet. Okay, so let's get to the IFTTT now. So we are in IFTTT app now, and here I have to add the applet for IFTTT, in which we will get the trigger from the workflow, and then we will write down everything. I mean, the workflow will actually write down everything automatically to the Google Sheet. And let's do how we can do this. Okay, so if this, then that. So first this, so if workflow, okay, so what should workflow do? The workflow should get my time log, trigger from my time log. It will be a trigger from the workflow. When the workflow get the trigger, then it should write things to the Google Sheet. So here is the Google Sheet. We want to add rows to the spreadsheet. So okay, spreadsheet name by default is run at, but I can change this to my time log. You can have it anything. It should not match with the workflow, but it can be anything, but I will use the same to be on the same side. So I would say my time log. By default there are a lot of ingredients added, but what I would do is I would remove, because we need only 4. So I will keep the 4, and I will remove this thing, and I have to remove these also. So now we are ready to go. You can also set a different drive folder path if you like, but I would keep the same just to be on the simple side. So now you see we have a spreadsheet also ready. We create an action, and our workflow is ready. So we just say finish. That's our workflow. It gives you more options, but we'll go back and then just click the settings icon, and just to double check that everything works fine. So if we say if a workflow triggers my time log, then add row to the Google Drive spreadsheet. Okay, so yeah, it's okay. We just say save. We can also check the applet before we really actually run it. So it's checked and there was no error. If there's something wrong, then you will see the error. So let's go back to the workflow again and run the workflow. So where's the, okay, so here's the workflow, the last one I created. I press the play button, it comes up with the time in. I say 9 start time, maybe 18 stop time, and okay, so it asked me to put some things if I want, like ask when run. So maybe I would say project A, some dummy project. You could write anything what you are doing, your activity, say done, and now it will run. And if it runs successfully, you will see in the last window some number, like here 18. So but to really check if it is really there, we have to go to the Google Drive. So here I am in my Google Drive, and you see here I have a new daily log. That's not the one. It's this one. My time log. Yeah, that's this one. Okay, so here we are. So that's the one we created. So it's the date. Now start time, stop time, and the project A is remarks or anything. And you can also add, that could be done manually. I think at the end of the month, you can add one more column with the formula to calculate the hours in numbers, like 6 hours. Just put the formula in and then just drag it in, and then the whole month, you will get the whole hours for the whole month. I hope you liked it, and if you have any comments or any questions, please don't forget to ask.